Hello and welcome back to the Alpha Armory. It's been said that the next wipe is only a couple of weeks away, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to have a look at some budget weapon builds, and also weapon builds in future episodes that we can use, say, in the first 10 levels before we can get to the flea market or get access to a lot of the mods and weapons that we normally couldn't get. You know what I mean, right? Anyway, today's weapon, we're going to be looking at the AK-74N. So there are a couple of things to think about with this build. The first thing being, early game, level 1 to 10, you're not going to be able to buy these from any of the traders. And you're not going to get them until level 20 plus. So most of the time, you're going to be getting these parts from the flea market post level 10. So it's not really something you'd use pre-level 10 before you get the flea market, unless you can find all these parts in raid. Now that being said, currently, all of these parts are actually very common, and places like Reserve, if you know where to find a lot of attachments and stuff on the roofs of some of the buildings, there are some rooms inside the buildings as well that have really good attachment spawns. Well, that being said, they have discussed having more of a dynamic loot spawning, and what that's going to mean is, well, we don't really know, but I'm assuming that parts are going to be able to spawn just about anywhere, but it's going to be very interesting to see how it actually plays out. So for now, let's consider this being a level 10 plus build once you get the flea market open. As for the statistics for this build, please again keep in mind that this is just a budget build, it's not meta. However, it does still perform very well. We have 39 ergonomics, we have 68 vertical recoil, and 177 horizontal recoil. Now, how this compares to the actual standard build, you have 43 ergonomics on the standard, so we've lost a little bit of ergonomics. You have 91 vertical recoil and 239 horizontal. So it's still quite the improvement, but it has a long way to go to become your meta recoil build. Now on the screen, you're going to see a list of parts, who you can buy them from, at what current price, and these are the trader prices. The total for this build, and this is without a dust cover because I found that it actually doesn't really matter having the dust cover, is just under 70,000 rubles. Now let's go ahead and say that, say level 10, we've just unlocked the flea market. At the current point in the game, it's going to cost you more closer to around 95,000, give or take. Now, as of right now, prices are kind of crazy. They're all over the place. A lot of this stuff people won't be looting as much, so they won't be selling as much. Also, next wipe, there's the whole found in raid thing as well, where you can only sell things on the flea market that are found in raid. So who knows how the price is going to turn out, which is why we're going to stick with the 70k roughly for the trader prices. Now, for the parts, we have the AK-74N. The reason why we're not using the AK-74 is because the 74N actually has a slot for sights, whereas the AK-74 does not. So keeping that in mind, the EKP Cobra sight does not actually fit on the AK-74. You need a different dust cover to actually get a sight on there. We just have the standard pistol grip. Now, if you've bought the gun completely intact, some of these parts are going to be already on the gun. But if you're like me and you buy just the receiver from the trader, you'll have to buy these parts separately. The Izhmash AK bakelite pistol grip is the standard one that's on there. The handguard we're using is the Polymer AK-100 series foregrip. Now, it gives an extra 5 ergonomics, does not give any reduction in recoil, but it does allow you to fit a foregrip, and it's quite cheap at 1375 rubles. Now, the stock is just the standard Izhmash wooden AK-74 stock, comes with the gun, and same with the magazine. We have the SL2030 round 5.45 by 39 magazine. As with the gas tube, again standard if you buy the whole gun. It's the AK-74 gas tube, and one of the most important parts that you could get away with just slapping this on there and not really much else is the recoil pad. For only 3,300 rubles from Prapor, it goes on the stock and it has a reduction of 5% recoil. Now, the grip can be bought from Peacekeeper for $79, and that gives you an extra 3% recoil reduction plus an extra 7 ergonomics, so it's pretty handy. The sight we're using is the Cobra EKP-0-02 reflex sight for 9,727 rubles, and the reason why we're using this one is it gives you -1 recoil, -1 recoil I should say, and -7 ergonomics. So the ergonomics reduction is kind of sucky, but still helps. If you want to add a bit of ergonomics to it, you can add the sight shade on there. And finally, for the muzzle brake, we are using the PWS CQB 74 5.45 by 39 muzzle brake. It's the most expensive part of the build, and it goes for 14,664 for -11 recoil and -1 ergonomics. Adds a little bit of muzzle velocity too. Now, this you can change out if you like. Now, if you were to swap that out for something like this, the SRVV AK-74 Muzzle Break, you would lose 3% recoil. So it's minus 11. So it's minus 8% compared to the minus 11 from the CQB, but it's less than half the price. So very good value for money. And the only difference it actually makes overall in your recoil, you go from 68 vertical to 72 vertical, which in the grand scheme of things, you're probably not going to notice too much. So it's something to think about. Now, what that would do is it actually changes your total price to 60,000 rubles from the traders. Okay, we have both guns here in the hideout, just to show the recoil before we go into some raids and show you how it performs. So the standard build, we're going to aim low stomach and see what happens. We're just going to click and hold. So pretty big spread there. Let's see how the budget AK compares. A heck of a lot better. Now with a little bit of control, you keep the spread actually quite tight. So your medium range and even close range sort of stuff is really good. Your further range, you're going to be just tapping mostly anyway. It's definitely not like an HK or like any sort of meta weapon. But early game, even late game if you're running on a budget, very solid. Now let's see this sucker in action.
Do you want to check Mark then?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, someone's in here. Sounds like more than one as well. Unless it's
Comms.
Kill one.
That's my nade.
This is me running. Oh, I'm dead.
Where?
He's at the other side stairs where Mark's room is, but as you go up, out the, I think it's like the bathroom, I think.
Tagged him. Dropped him. Nice. This was his.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go back. Go for Mark again.
Yeah.
Go in this window.
That's where I went in last time when I killed that guy.
Still a bit far away.
In for A1.
Got one.
Really?
Yeah, no, on the left. Oh, left in the end room. I think that was a player. Yep. Nice, what's that? Oh yeah, fucking scav. As if you don't die. Sounds like some shit going on up here.
Пацаны, да он там совсем ёбутал! Валить надо его!
Fuck me, that hurt. Why won't you die? Hope you find this video helpful. If you did enjoy it, if I could just ask you to please stop and hit that like button, I'd appreciate that very much. And if you'd like to subscribe to get notified of future videos, we're going to be doing some more of these, plus just your regular sort of gameplay, loot runs, all that sort of thing as well. And if you have a moment to come stop by my Twitch channel and come say hello, I'd appreciate that as well. We have a bit of fun time on there, muck around. And yeah, we'll see you next time.